going on, everybody? This is Zilla 20Z. Starting a video series where I will actually just be playing with Feng and going over, I guess, my mindset while I'm in the middle of the matches. Some post commentary, have you?
Tournament 7, Fengwei.
So the guy that I'm playing right now is Nick No Cannons. He's a really solid player. He actually hails from the Prime Dojo. Now his main is actually Steve, but he is learning Feng, so he's just picked up Feng. So we're doing a few mirrors, so hopefully he can sharpen up with the character, and at the same time he can pick up some things maybe that I'm doing. And at the same time, I'm trying to see if I can learn from him also, which I was able to do while we were playing. So let's get into the game.
Fight.
Start off with a wild standing one, just checking him, see what he's doing. Kind of pushing him to the wall at this point is what I'm trying to force him to do. I'm using that down back three just to keep him in check so he can't really sidestep me. He can't really get much of an offense started. Now I notice that he's going for that low shoulder again. But I'm not trying to duck, because in my opinion, there's not really too much that Feng can necessarily do to you as far as launching you. Unless he's right up on you or he has you pressing buttons or something like that. It's kind of hard for Feng to get a launcher in. So you have to consistently poke at your opponent so you can frustrate him. Then you can do what you got to do. Alright. So I'm pushing him to the wall at this point. I tried to go for the armor move, but he went ahead and low sweep me. Still pushing him at that wall just to try to see how he deals with it. Oh, didn't break the 1+2 grab. Alright, he just finished me off with that down 4-1.
Round 3. Fight.
I just checked him with the down 4-3. He wasn't ducking. So at this point he has me at the wall. I'm trying to find a way to get up. Not really pressing too much. I felt that I could get a hop kick in, so it did come out. Beat my shifting clouds. I got counter hit. So at this point I'm trying to keep him out. At the same time I want to press him. But he played pretty solid right there.
Round 4. Fight.
Backed up, checked him with the down 4-3, up 4-3+4, pushed him to the wall at this point. So my mindset at the start of that match was I felt he was going to be using some highs, so that's why I used that to crush him. Trying to stay off that wall. Praying pretty solid at this point, just using back 4. Alright, Nick closed that one out. The thing is with Feng, man, you can honestly play this character just about any way that you choose to. Just all virtue of how the character works. He doesn't necessarily. He has some things that are bread and butter, but a lot of stuff he has isn't necessarily a guaranteed follow-up. So, given the situation, you might just have to change it up and play accordingly. Alright, it's the start of the second game right here.
Round 1. Fight.
So right now I'm just using back 4 just to test Nick to see what he's doing. still playing pretty solid from the last game. I got to find a way to open my opponent up at this point. So I'm still going in with wild standing ones, some down back threes. And at this point, I'm going to have to do something to change up how the next set of games actually go. I did see I got an opening right there, a big opening. Because I'm trying to get some big damage here. Doing that down back three in that situation at the end is probably not the best thing to do. Oh, and I forgot I can actually pause too while I'm doing this, so cool. I might use that as the fight continues. Alright, at that point I got I'm trying to get on the map. That's all I'm trying to do at this point. Looking for an opening for my opponent. If he's too eager, I'm going to go for the down back four. Good side step two. No, not side step two, but a side step and raise drive shoulder though from Nick. So at this point I'm just fishing for counter hits for the most part. Not counter hits, but I'm fishing for whiffs. Trying not to overexert myself if possible. Just trying to poke at my opponent at this point. Not looking for big damage. Just trying to punish him for any mistake that he makes. That was a clutch hot kick. Lately, I've just been working on reads. If I get a read or a feel that they might go low, I know Feng's hot kick is pretty bad, but I'm just trying to implement it more in my game. Still doing wild standing ones, down back threes, just poking at them at this point. I don't want to do anything wild, nothing crazy. He's keeping me in check usually when I'm doing up 4-3. So I'm still just poking at him at this point. Just wear your opponent down, just trying to wear him down. Broke the 1+2 grab. There we go. Now he did duck and he got right back up. Because usually he ducks the stomp, but I went for 4-3+4. 4. Checked him that time to see if he was gonna duck, and he didn't. Sidestep two, because I'm just gonna follow him. He's trying to get off the wall. The only thing he could do is like sidestep two, sidestep four. Not sidestep two, but he would do like maybe sidestep four, down back three. He'd have to do something to crush me at that point. But I did have the life lead, so it was a risk I was willing to take with the sidestep two at the wall. I figured he was gonna just try to step to the side, maybe.
Round one. Fight.
Up 4-3. Got my head flip. Okay, at this point I was just trying to use keep out. Not trying to do too much at the corner. Did a back four, got out the corner. Well, I didn't get out. But that was the intention.
Fight.
So at this point, I'm just trying to find an opening.
See maybe if I can take him to the wall. Oh. Must have felt that he was going to go for a low or something.
Great. Round 3. Fight.
Getting hit a lot at this point. I think maybe I'm just trying to fish for a counter hit or something. I think I'm just trying to turn the pressure up on him. I don't think it works in my favor though. Now he tried to get up at that point, and the shoulder gets guaranteed at that point if they move. So a lot of times what I do is I delay my timing just by a second, and then I go for the shoulder. 9 times out of 10, my opponent's going to try to get up and they're going to give me that shoulder hit. I'm just using keep out at this point. Maybe trying to reset some of the momentum, some of the energy. Didn't break the 1+2 grab though. And I ate that while standing 4. Counted it too.
Get ready for the next battle.
The thing about Tekken is definitely means a lot to learn the character, but you do need to know your opponent too. So knowing what your opponent likes to do, knowing patterns, compartmentalizing and remembering people's patterns and using that against them is very important. The best players are the ones that are able to do that faster, to adapt quicker. At this point, I'm just putting some different pressure on him at this point. Did with that shoulder, he tried to go for the 1+2 grab. Alright. He went for the side step 2, down 3. I'm still just fishing just to chop at him. He got me with a good punish right there. That should be it if I'm not mistaken.
KO.
Good punish.
Round 2. Fight.
Now I wasn't ducking that down back 1-4. Definitely take a note to make sure I'm ducking and launching that. Now I've went for shoulder, but should probably use a little more tracking moves. We're getting sidestepped a lot. Maybe get more miles with back 4.
Round 3. Fight.
I went with back 3+4 at the start of the match just to see what maybe he's going to try to do. Is he trying to get offensive, defensive? That's what I'm looking for at the start. Good punish on me. Checking him to see if he's ducking on me. I did that down back 4 right there from that distance in case he tries to run in, because I do use that move as a defensive move more than an offensive move. So I use it as a keep out. It's a homing. So if they're running in with the intentions to do something, they're not paying attention and then they can get hit by the down back 4.
Round 4. Fight.
So I'm just slowing down the pace of the game just a little bit. Went for back turn because he'd have to guess the grab. At this point, honestly, I'm just really just watching just to see what he does. Could have probably played a little bit more
You lose.
aggressive or just did something at the end, like maybe a back four. But truth be told, I was just pretty much just wanting to see what he does, you know, when his life's low. What does he go for? Mostly from what I saw, he'll rip you up when it's, at least in that instance. Should have go for grabs, right?
Round one.
Alright.
Fight.
So right now, Nick is up by 2. I'm going to be needing to make some adjustments, at least on my behalf, after, you know, those last 2 games. So what I'm thinking about at this point is that I need to be playing tighter. I did up 4-3 that time. I didn't press anything. I'm just looking for an opening, and I'm looking to just punish and poke at him. It's just a simple back four at that point just to get him out.
Round two. Fight.
Now, usually he starts the game off with lows, I was noticing, so that's why I jumped over him and went for the down 3 in back turn. Back 1, so just trying to get his pressure started there. I just felt that he was going to press the button at that point.
Round 3.
So I just went for that raw shoulder.
Fight.
Sometimes you got to trust your instincts, you know? Sometimes you got to do that. Alright. So, went to back turn. Back turn, 1 grab. Like you said, when Feng's in back turn, you got to guess the grab. Because his grab animation is the same. Whether it's a 1, 2, or 1+2. I have the life lead at this point. I really don't want to be doing a whole lot. So, I'm not rushing in on Nick. Good break on his part. Went for the shoulder punish, but I didn't run in all the way. It's very dangerous sometimes when you knock your opponent away like that. You get all that momentum and you're just running at him, but if you're not paying attention, it can come back to bite you. Sometimes it helps to run up and not do anything at all. You can throw your opponent off a lot of times just doing that, just playing oppressive. No mix-up is, you know, is what you can call it. Some hidden scrolls. All right.
Round 1. Fight.
Just did a wild standing 2, just a safe launcher. Now, a mental note just to pick up on also is a few times when I've had him near that wall, he does immediately go for the side step 4. Granted, it hits me. I think I made a few adjustments later on in the matches where I would block it or look for it.
Round 2. Fight.
So those are things to do when you're doing a player match, man. It's the time to learn. You know, win or lose, take that time to collect as much data on your opponent and yourself. I wasn't punishing that shoulder, and that wasn't the right punish. He's pressuring me, trying to get me in the wall, trying to get back up on that map. Not a good angle to be at. Try to go over for the hop over shenanigans.
Fight.
It didn't work too well for me. I fished for a counter hit right there. Trying to get some damage on the map. Using back four at this point just to keep him off me. And we both been fishing for counter hits. I got that anytime, most of the time, if he's gonna whiff on me, I want to shoulder him every time he whiffs.
Fight.
Start off the match with the down back 2 string. I didn't back up when he went in the back turn, so I was free game for that sweep. At this point, like I said, I'm still looking for any whiffs that he might make. I'm trying to keep him out. I'm using down back 3 as a keep out tool. Now, down back 3 definitely does, it homes. So you can use it for homing if your opponent wants to sidestep. If your opponent wants to come in, it's a long range poke or a medium range poke. So depending on the range that you're at when the opponent's coming in, if you don't want to do something like down back 4, I'm just trying to stifle your momentum. I'm trying to keep that neutral going. So I'm going to use down back 3 just to stuff any attempt, you know, at getting an attack going. He's driving me at the wall at this point, so let's see what I'm going to do. We got the shoulder. I'm trying to pressure him, looks like with the armor move. I whiffed this low shoulder, ate that, and got tackled. I probably could have tried hopping over him. I think I did that later on. Actually jumping over the opponent. You could jump over the opponent. I could have sidestepped the moment, you know, the tackle went through, or there's several options.
Get ready for the next battle. Round 1. Fight.
Listen, I was just trying to chop at him at that point. Got a little too greedy though. Got hit with that sidestep for him. Now I'm finding myself in a bad place. I'm in that corner. What am I going to do? I'm still just trying to poke at him. At this point, I can't do anything crazy. I'm gonna die.
Round 2. Fight.
I see he's poking towards me. Looks like mostly he's trying to push me if he can towards that wall. I'm still backing up when he goes in the back turn because there's not a whole lot that he can do to you from that situation. I broke that grab so I could get out that corner. Went for a 2 grab, it looks like. I'm just using that as a keep out move. Good punish. His heart was in the right place. Maybe if he did it just a little bit sooner, he would have had me when I went to land. I'm just poking at him, trying to be semi-evasive at the same time. Right now I have a good life lead. Really, at this point, I just need to be doing a back four, something really safe, something really quick, just to get him out.
KO.
So I opted for the crouch kick.
Round 4. Fight.
Sometimes simple is better, you know. I went to sidestep down for a 3, but he hop kicked me. I really love down for a 3 because it's safe. I can catch people a lot of times just ducking on me with the move, especially on wake up. If the opponent's waking up, and I have to play it very careful at this point. Not good. Not good at all.
Final round.
So he's about to be back up on the map. He's trying to get out that corner. I did punish his shoulder, that's good. Broke the 1+2 grab. I did down back 4 to check him if he was going to try to run in too close. I would have got a juggle started and get him to the wall. I think I tried to hop kick or something. I'm not sure. Punish again. Alright, we got a game.
You win.
So at this point, I need to be taking notes on what got our game so close. Try not to make some of those same mistakes to keep that back and forth from going on.
Get ready for the next battle. Round 1. Fight.
See, I remembered last time he went for that low. Yeah, he did hit me with that side step 4 again at the wall. Remember earlier that I was talking about that. I'm in a tough spot right now at the wall, but I did get that counter hit. Right now, I'm just going to be trying to use keep out, but I can't if I need that. That was the intention.
Round 2. Fight.
I'm rushing in. I'm backing up. Checkman ducking. Didn't duck that. I don't think I ducked a single down back 1-4.
Great.
A mental note that he also goes for hop kicks, especially at the end of the match. Especially sidestep hop kicks. He does that a lot to close out the game.
KO. Round 4. Fight.
And at this point, the most I can do is play it relatively kind of compact. Because right now he just needs one more. I gotta get myself back up on the map, so I'm just poking away at him at this point. 4-4-2 is safe, so I'm just checking him with that mid-range mid. Yeah, I was about to say I would sprinkle it down back here, man.
Final round. Fight.
Nick's playing hella solid right now, using those down back four. I mean, using the back fours. I need to look for an opening. I might not get one though. Good punish from Nick. As you see, this is actually part of the same session that we had earlier that I uploaded on YouTube. I think it's close to like 40 minutes or so. This is all part of that same session. So as the games went on, as you can see, Nick's starting to warm up. He's starting to pick up some things. He's starting to do some things differently with the character.
Round one. Fight.
Alright. So at this point, it means I have to adjust. I have to make some changes of my own to my gameplay. I'm starting to use some full crouch down for ones. You see how he reacts to that.
KO. Round two. Fight.
Start the game off with back four just to beat anything out he may try to do. Went for back turn, one grab. Honestly, I wish I probably would focus a little bit more on whip punishing rather than trying to be a little bit more of the aggressor. Didn't even punish that. That's no bueno.
KO.
That raw shoulder came back to bite.
Round three. Fight.
Both went for down back three at the start of the match. And I did down back four because the fella was going to crush whatever he did. And also at the same time,
KO.
he was coming in. I wanted to shut down his momentum because I'm more of a player that wants to kill your momentum. I want to control that neutral. I checked him at the wall to see if he was going to duck or anything with that down 4-2-2. I have the life lead at this point, and I don't want to waste that. All you need at this point is a down back 3, side step 2, or back 4, or 4-4-2. I'm just keeping away from him,
KO.
and we punish the 4-3-4.
You win.
Like I said again, the game is all about making adjustments to what your opponent is doing.
Get ready for the next battle. Round one. Fight.
Like I said, this video is mostly just for people that, if you're a Feng enthusiast, if you play Feng, if you want to learn the character, definitely if you can, if there's anything you can pull or learn from this video, then definitely feel free to check it out.
Perfect.
And it's definitely also for Nick as well,
Round
for
two.
him to look back on,
Fight.
to study, to see what he can get out of it. Because I like how he made adjustments as the games continued on. Nick went for that 4-3-4. I went ahead and punished that. We got him towards the wall. I kind of gave up on trying to keep my spot with having him at the wall there. Not getting too close to him, so I'm not getting clipped by sidestep 4,
Round
or a
three.
down back 4, or a back turn down 3, or a hop kick. We try to get the conversion though, I saw. He threw out a few one too many jabs, so I went for up for a 3-4. I'm just doing that full crouch just to see what I can get him to do.
KO.
If he tries to go for sidestep 4, more than likely I'm gonna beat it out at that point. Yo, raw down back 4. Let's go. It's definitely a dangerous spot to be right there in that little point in the corner. I didn't want to do too much. Like a lot of times your opponent's waking up, that can be a momentum changer for them too, even though they're the ones getting beat up at that point. So you gotta kind of act accordingly and watch what they do. Sometimes, you know, after you're done doing your combo or whatever you're doing, you can just back up just a bit, so you're right outside of your opponent's range. You give them that feeling of being oppressed while you're not even attacking them at the same time, which pressures them to make bad decisions.
Round one. Fight.
Just pushing towards the wall at this point. See if I can keep my momentum going. Now that move, that 2-1-1, used to actually pick your opponent up in Tag 2 and Tekken 6. But since this game's came out, Tekken 7, you haven't been able to do that. So I went for that move for that purpose, to see if I could pick him up off the ground. But it didn't work to my favor.
KO. Round two.
Kind of risky going for that move right there, especially since he hop kicks a lot at the end of matches. I went for it anyway though. I'm just trying to keep him out at this point, it looks like. Experimented a little bit, try to see if I could land 1+4. He's keeping me out at this point, and I'm not reacting appropriately though.
KO.
So he takes that round.
Three. Fight.
I didn't punish that 4-3. Looks like he's doing a 4-3 just to try to push me towards the wall. Try to get me maybe to respect him a little bit more. I'm gonna just try to get some damage on the map while at the same time getting off the wall there if I can. To control the stage a bit better.
KO.
Good punish.
Round four. Fight.
Slowing it down just a little bit more to see what Nick's doing. I didn't punish the side step forward, but I was looking for it that time.
Perfect. Final round. Fight.
Again, he went for the down back 3 at the start of the match, so I hopped over him. Little flow charts coming out right there. At this point, I could have been using a little bit more back 4, honestly. It wouldn't have hurt to do that.
KO. You lose.
I think I'm opting for changing stages at this point. Can you hit accept hard enough?
Welcome to the King of Iron Fist Tournament 7. Fengwei.
We went to the Machine Moon. No, we went to the Twilight Conflict after this. Okay.
Get ready for the next battle.
Yeah, I didn't think about it. We had a good number of games. You know, judging off the last set that I uploaded earlier, and then looking at this, that was a decent session.
Round 1. Fight.
Alright. So I got popped with the hop kick. I think he wanted to get me towards that wall to take me off the stage. I caught him ducking that time.
KO. Round
So I just kept the assault going at that point.
KO. Round 3. Fight. You win.
At that point, like you said, I was just went in. The whole thing is about, like I said, is adjusting to your opponent. Being able to remember, you know, flow charts. What do they do in specific situations? Nothing's wrong with that too. When you're doing player matches with people, especially doing a session like this, take that time to go ahead and just do a move. Take that time to just do a move. Figure out what it is that you like to do. Well, not necessarily what you like to do, but what your opponent does. How does your opponent react to something? So you can do something, even if it's safe or not safe. You can get hit a few times. See what it does to you.
Round 1.
And
Fight.
or see how they react to it. And then do it a few times.
Round 2. Fight. KO. Round 3. Fight.
All right, so at this point, I'm doing some dash blocking. I don't know what I was trying to do right there. I thought he was gonna do a down back 3. Oh man, the hop kick for the win.
Fight.
He's keeping me out, using those back 4s to good effect. I didn't punish that 4-4-2 whiff though. He must have read that side step 4 coming out. I did not break that 1+2 grab.
Final round. Fight.
Broke the 1+2 that time. So back 4 might be my best friend at this point. Back 4 and side step 2 maybe. I did land that down 4-3 though, but I don't know if I was able to take that home.
KO. You win. Get ready for the next battle.
And if you can, for those that are still sticking
Round
around
1.
to this point in the video,
Fight.
you have any like moves that you like to do with Feng? Any recommendations as far as situations that you might opt to use a certain move, or you found a good reason to use certain tools? Is drop that down below. Each one teach one. You know, as they say.
Round 2. Fight.
At this point, I'm trying to punish him real hard for any risk that he might take at this point. Turning up. Okay, see, punishing that side step 4 that time.
Round
Just remembering habits that my opponent has and using that against him. That was almost well placed launcher he had there. Caught him ducking. He didn't get up again though. I'm just being real careful at this point of what I'm doing. I remember last time he hit me with the hop kick when he was in a tight spot. making adjustments to my game at this point. Keeping it simple, did a back 4. I did a sway back after that. Counting that he would press the button, or the wrong button, which he did. Started to make more adjustments to my game around this time.
Get ready for the next battle. Round 1. Fight.
I'm being a little aggressive right now. I probably want to maybe cut it back a little bit. Yeah. Like, what do I do with this? Ran right into that.
KO.
I'm not sure where the back 1+2 came from there, to be honest with you.
Fight.
Down 2. I'm fishing for a counter hit. He hit me with the side step 4. At this minute, I'm trying to do a kick up because I think that maybe I can catch him not being careful with his Oki options. Just poking at him at this point. Jumped over that.
KO.
I try to poke him out with that down 3.
Fight.
Yeah, I did it again. A homie messaged me because he said glaciating was using that move. Maybe it was either that or down 4 to great effect on his stream. Like I said, everything, everything plays different. You might find something that works for you that might not work for somebody else. I'm just pressuring him at this point. Figuring he's gonna press a button. Side step 1+2 is really good to use at the wall.
Fight.
I figured he was gonna go for a low or something, so I started the match off straight up with a hop kick. Off top, went straight for the hop kick. Armor move to see what he's gonna do. I'm looking for him to do side step 4. It did come out. He might do it again even, because he's still in a tough spot. He needs to get some damage and get himself on the map. Yeah, he went for a hop kick again. I'm just looking for the hop kick. I was looking for a side step 4. What I wasn't looking for was paying attention that he has rage.
Fight.
Good punish on this part right there. Like I said, when they're at the wall like that in that weird position, that's a weird angle you want to have your opponent at. That's one of those times where you just want to back up. Counter hit back 3-3 served me good there. Did not break that 1+2 grab. Now I got him at the wall again, but I messed up. I fumbled up with my combo. That was pretty trippy right there.
You win.
That was pretty trippy.
Get ready for the next battle.
That was a nice side step 3. Right there at the wall.
I think what I can put together maybe later too is like a Feng montage of hype moments, you know, cool stuff. Yeah, he popped right there with the side step 4.
And at this point, Nick, I guess, would need to be making some adjustments to his game. Now, he went for the 1+2 right there, but that's not a combo that you would do unless the up 2 hit from the start. So if up 2 hit from the start, then I would have had that, or he would have had that. But that's not a true combo that we try to do there.
KO. Round 2. Fight.
So Nick's just poking at this point. Good punish from him right there. That's what I get for following through with the full string.
KO. Round 3. Fight.
I said 4-4-2 is safe, so it doesn't hurt to use the move to that effect back to back. Plus it's a mid. Like, you can't do no wrong really using it in that fashion.
Get ready for the next battle. Round 1. Fight.
Now, starting the match off with down back 2. That's another move that you could technically use at the start of the game, depending on your opponent and the character that you're fighting. Can be kind of risky. You can look at it the same way as a hop kick. You know, it's a launcher. It's close range. It can get beat out. You know, if somebody does throw out a hop kick or something like that. But
Round 2.
so that's just a risk that you could be willing to take. I don't think he would be the type to start off a combo or start the match off with a hop kick. So that's why I opted for the move. I'm checking his legs. Good punish from him.
KO.
Alright, so Nick's making the adjustment.
Fight.
I punished his side step 4. Punished his wake up. Crouch 3. Feel that Nick's just looking to get an offense going at this point. And I actually fumbled my Oki situation. Good, back four solid. That's really all you got to do when you do have when you have Feng, and you got that life lead at the end. Like you said again, less is sometimes more. Use back four. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it covers a lot of your bases. especially when you don't want the opponent getting in. If you want to be oppressive at the same time while not just putting yourself out there, and maintaining some kind of neutral stance in the situation during the fight. Back four is pretty valuable. Probably one of his most valuable moves. He went for another low shoulder. I hopped over it. He's fishing for a counter hit. Now I gotta be careful though, because he might hit me with a hop kick. Ah, and I ate that.
You win.
Being patient helps. I could have went south.
Get ready for the next battle. Round one. Fight.
Cool. So at this point, I was just like I was fishing for some counter hits to try to see what I can get him to do. I tried shifting clouds 3. Just trying something different to see what he does when I approach him from that situation. That had good tracking on it, and it's a mid. Plus, if he blocked, I still was going to maintain, control of the match at that point. That's why I went for the headbutt in the corner. Back four again would be the move to do in that situation, and I wasn't doing it, but just taking a mental note. When your opponent's approaching you like that, and they're trying to apply some kind of pressure or get some momentum starting for the Feng players, that's when you want to be throwing out that back four. There's almost zero reasons not to. And so you watch it, look, he threw out the double hop kick that time. He says mental notes like that just to take in those given situations. He went for the hop kick that time and started this match again. He went for the down back 3. He felt pressured and went for another hop kick on me. So mostly what he's doing, I'm noticing at this point, he's going for low for high crushes, and the minute I go maybe to do something, he's going to maybe go for a hop kick. If he senses that, I'm going to go ahead and do it low. So his reads are pretty good. I'm noticing as the games went on. I don't think that didn't punish. I think the correct thing would have been to do shoulder. I call myself checking him with that string, but I end up whipping it. I figured he was going to be very aggressive, so the down back 2 strings that I opted for, it did work. I couldn't catch him ducking that. Down back 4 as he was coming in. Alright, I'm back on the map. At this point, honestly, I should be playing it really safe. I did. Now, I went for down back 4, but that was not the range to try that move. I looks like I was trying down back 4 really from one range, and that's not what you want to do. I just did it again from 0, but given the situation, still very risky. But it was usable. I need to just whiff punish or use back 4 at this point. He did go for the hop kick again too. Another thing to take note of also is that Nick doesn't do Feng's rage art much, but he will use the rage drive almost within the first maybe 10 seconds that he gets rage. The rage drive is coming out.
Get ready for the next battle.
I don't think it was often that he did get rage and didn't opt to go for it rather than just keeping the rage and going for the damage.
I think we got roughly close to 3 minutes left of this video to commentate. Again, thank you for all those that have taken the time to watch this. Hopefully this is usable for people that play Feng, and even for those that are actually trying to learn how to fight maybe against the character, just to see what Feng players like to do. Yeah, definitely will be having more videos. I'm using sidestep 1+2 at the wall, and I sidestep right because I'm trying to keep him at the wall at this point. I don't want him trying to get off of it. But I have to take note to watch out for sidestep 4 or a hop kick. He went for the sidestep 4 right there. I'm just poking at him with down back 3, while standing 1, up 4-2. While standing 4. I'm just trying to poke at him at this point without putting myself out there too much. I did up 4, 3+4. Try to beat out maybe any highs that he's going to use. I fumbled my combo at that point. The thing is too, when you drop a combo or you mess up, you can't get flustered. Sometimes it's easy to get tilted, should I say, you know, if a little mix-up like that happens.
Round 4. Fight.
At this point, Lisa, I'm just poking at him. Not trying to do too much. Again, that's the situations where I would need to be using back forward more. I mean, it's cool that you want to play patient, that you're not doing anything, but when you're not doing anything, sometimes you still need to do something. And that's what that back four comes in for. It's just a placeholder just to keep the opponent off you, at the same time protecting yourself and being able to just close out that match. Got the wild standing 1 right there. I think that was it as far as the session went. Again, thank you for everybody that did tune in to watch this. We're going to be having more videos that we're going to be shooting towards you coming soon. Again, subscribe if you haven't. Share with your friends. Again, this is for the Feng enthusiasts out there. Thank you. I appreciate it. Talk to you later.